What's going on, YouTube? It's that the place to be, chilling with me, Mr. A&E, and joining me is my co-host, not Dion, says for prime time.
What's up, y'all? It's me, the BRYANDANIELSON.
We are back here for AEW All Out 2021 pay-per-view review. Now, obviously, we had to set this thing up as a premiere because I'm sorry, I hit my microphone. But the thing is, the thing was over by like almost midnight, okay? And I could not get the live stream up in time or anything like that. So me and Prime was recording it. Afterwards, by the time we're recording it, it's like 2 Sunday in the morning because Prime went down to a theater to check out AEW. And this is my first AEW pay-per-view I have ordered since AEW came into existence. My first one ever. And I'm proud to say I'm happy about that because usually what I do, I do the TNA thing where I will go on shopaew.com and all the events that I liked, I will go buy the DVD of them when they came out. But I was like, this time I'm actually going to, give my money since I realized that I had to pay the cable company later on in the month. I was like, oh, sweet, we're going to do this. And rest assured, when this thing comes out on DVD, I'm buying it.
Yeah.
So this is a historical
Blu-ray, night. 4K, UHD, whatever.
Look,
whatever.
Whoever does 4K, fine for me because AEW only does DVDs, and it sucks. But they only do DVDs. I'm just like, yo, give me a Blu-ray of this, okay? Because this was, in my personal opinion, probably the best show they did this year. I think this may be, I may be going on a limb, but I think this was one of the best wrestling pay-per-views of the year. And there have been some good ones. I'm talking about including all WWE stuff, all NXT stuff, all AEW stuff. Even Impact. You know what I'm saying? Because Impact tends to do sometimes good on Slammiversary, but this right here, the crowd, everything was into it, and I was sitting there saying to myself like, yo, y'all really gotta do a bigger arena next time because y'all could have sold that thing out and filled.
Nah, they're loyal to there, so they're gonna stay there every time they go to Chicago. We're all out.
Yeah, I mean, it most likely that's what the case is going to be. But I'm just saying, like, they could have packed like 20,000, 30,000 people. They could probably get 40,000. I
mean, they know that because obviously they did that with the one they had the other week.
Yeah.
So they know they can do it, but they just very extremely loyal to that arena. So I get it. So
I'm just curious to see what the pay-per-view buys are going to be, especially since they added my buy on there. I hope that they really show up in buys because I don't care what you WWE marks are saying. I'm a wrestling mark, so I go for both ways. But Vince, he may not be paying attention, but somebody who works for him is. And probably nailed on the head. You lost CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Adam Cole within a month. A month's time. And they got those 3 heavy hitters on AEW. What?
Yeah, that's big.
Bro, that is big business. So yes.
And there is still more. It's not just like those are the only ones. So
we still got more people coming?
Yeah, I mean, they fight like 50 people. So I mean.
Well, I mean, I know all men will come to AEW, obviously.
Well, no, I know all of them now, but there's still some big ones out there.
But it's AEW is about to look like the WWE was two years ago when they just signed like every single indie person on the map. Well, this time it's reversed. This time
it's different.
It is different because they're actually going to use them. So, why don't we get right into All Out? So the first thing is I did not see the pre-show. I did not see the 8-man, was it 8 or 10-man tag team matchup with the.
It was a 10-man.
10-man tag team. So did you end up seeing that? What was it? Buy-in.
Yeah, I saw it. It was cool. It was nice. It wasn't all that. It was basically just to get you excited. I was kind of. I wasn't shocked. It was just kind of weird to me that Jungle Boy and Orange Cassidy was not on the main show, but they're like one of your biggest, people.
Yeah. I mean, they were spotted, but obviously they weren't on the main show.
Yeah, I would have put them on the main show just for people that's watching for the first time to see the crowd reaction to Jungle Boy and stuff like that. I wouldn't put them in a 10-man tag, but I would have put them in like a, something so the crowd can see the energy when they come out.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
And it'll be intriguing. Like if you see like Queen do the little thing for the first time, you'll be like, oh, that's interesting. I want to see more. So.
Yeah, okay. Well, no, I mean you make very good points on that one. So, like I said, I missed the buying pre-show because I was still by down to the 5th hour. I was sitting there thinking to myself like, it's 7:57, and then when my daughter's show Bluey came on and she started getting excited, I said, nope, don't get excited. I turned right to the pay-per-view. I turned it on. I was just like, okay, I did it. I got over. I did it. So let's get right on to the main show of All Out. We kick off All Out with the TNT Championship. Eddie Kingston, which is my dude, taking on Miro. I have to say, off the bat, this is Eddie Kingston's best match in AEW.
Yeah, the thing is, and I don't know if this is disrespectful or if Eddie is just this good. I feel like I say that every week, almost.
About Eddie Kingston's matches?
Yes.
Yeah, well, look, when he wants to have a good match, it's not just full of brawling and, hardcore shit. He can do really good. Like I said, I watch Eddie Kingston back in House of Hardcore all the time. And I was a big fan of Eddie Kingston. Then he went to Impact and did that DCC shit, which I was like, okay, that's stupid for Eddie Kingston. But now, with this, I was enjoying it. And it was a good match. He took Miro to the limit.
Yeah, it's like with him and Mox, I was like, okay, that's his best match. No, him and Cody, I was like, all right, this is his best match. And then him and Mox, I was like, all right, this is his best match. And then him and Mox versus the Bucks, I was like, oh no, this is his best match. And then he had another match. He like 2 matches in the middle. I was like, no, those are his best matches because he's performing very well. And then here, I'm like, nah, this is his best match. I just feel like I'm constantly saying that for Eddie Kingston.
But I think that may be a good thing to say because that man is constantly developing and just getting better at his craft. Not saying that he's not a veteran. Of course, Eddie Kingston's a veteran, and this man still wrestles with a gut. But I'm just like, yo,
yeah,
this man has the art of it going down. And throughout the match, it's like,
by the way, buying his shirt.
Yes, oh yes, redeem these. Yo, I'm getting that shirt.
Oh, but by the way, on Twitter, Miro said, "Well, looks like they have been redeemed." Right. And then his wife posted, well, you'll get some redeemed. She basically said, I'll redeem yours, pretty much.
Hot damn. The match is pretty good with Miro being bright. The match kind of turns the time when Eddie Kingston tries to jump off the apron, gets power slammed to the outside by Miro. Miro comes back in and it's just being dominated onto him. But then Eddie Kingston tries to take off the top turnbuckle on the corner as he's getting German suplex. And then Miro comes and puts him in the game over, but he makes it to the ropes. So as he makes it to the ropes, he is fighting, tries to push Miro to the corner where the turnbuckle's at, but the referee is right there. So the referee kind of blocks it, and Miro gives Eddie Kingston a low blow. So Eddie gives him a low blow. He gives him like a super kick to give him another Mashka kick, and then takes him down. He doesn't even put him in the game over. He just takes him down with the kick and wins the match that way. Good opener. I thought it was strong. Like I said, I thought it was Eddie Kingston's best matchup. I enjoyed the story that they told of him trying to will go by any means to do it, but Miro just maybe a step smarter a little bit. So I did enjoy that. And the crowd was hot for it. They had the chance to fuck him up, and he fuck him up. And had all those good chants I love hearing. And
Now keep going.
Oh yeah, I just love how AEW just let them beat them.
Now I'm telling you, if they do that rematch in that stadium on September 22nd, Eddie's winning the belt.
Yes, in New York.
Even if
absolutely.
It's just for a week. He's winning the belt.
Especially if it's in New York, you damn skip. Look.
Yeah, like even if he win it and then lose it on Rampage, that's gonna be his moment.
And that's in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I look. I will give as hard as Eddie Kingston has worked. I will give him the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I would give him the moment. Okay, help me out, Prime, because you know you better go to some Japanese names here. Next matchup, we have Jon Moxley taking on title. Help me out here. Kojima.
Yes.
So yeah, everybody was expecting this match, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is actually a pretty hard hitting affair by Moxley. Moxley is the paradigm shift on Kojima, and does win the match. It's been a hard fought battle, but the match is not done yet, because after the match, Minoru Suzuki,
yes,
comes face to face with Jon Moxley, starts doing the Japanese, takes his shirt off. This man is what, 60-something years old?
53
some years old. They start giving the whole strong style hits and stuff like that, and they are squaring off. And then when I seen that old man take that dip knee to go under Moxley, I was like, yo, he still can do this.
What do you? Oh, that hurts. What do you mean he still can do this? Like, he never lost it.
Look, you're right. I'm just saying, but you watch more in Japan than I do.
I mean, I watched it, but like, Minoru Suzuki is like the Japanese Haku, right?
Yes.
Real life, you don't want to see this man. Also in the ring, you don't want to see this man. But like, I heard a lot of people saying, "Oh, so he's their Goldberg because he's old." I'm like, look, okay, because WWE is 53, and everybody else 53 is not the same.
It is not the same at all.
Like when you see a 53-year-old in WWE, you think of like the Goldbergs and all that. But Suzuki is one that still can get it done in the ring, one that you don't want to mess with. Like, people just think, oh, Moxley's gonna win because he's Moxley, and I'm like, nah. He just 53 is young to Suzuki. So yeah, and also you don't have that haircut if you're not like about it. so yes, Suzuki is. I'm just saying this to you because like a lot of people in the theater was very much upset and like, why is he out here? And they don't know who he is, so it's understandable. But they're like, this old guy shouldn't be beating up Moxley. Moxley should be embarrassed to be beaten up by this old guy. I'm like, oh, okay.
No, I mean, I know the importance of Suzuki, obviously, but I was just like, it's just great to see him still going, and he gives Moxley a power driver, so they're going to square off on Dynamite for Moxley's homecoming.
Yeah. Real quick though, I saw this tweet and I just thought I had to say it. Somebody said Tony Khan asked Jon Moxley who he wants to feud with, and Moxley just said Japan, which is funny. And Suzuki was a good surprise because obviously to me, but not obviously to people that don't know New Japan. But
yeah,
Moxley was teasing to fight Tanahashi at All Out. It didn't happen, so a lot of people were kind of upset. But Moxley versus Suzuki, and then potentially maybe Moxley versus Naito, Moxley versus Okada, and whoever else that is New Japan. I actually think that if he keeps doing this run of Japanese superstars, that I would enjoy it. So I don't have no problem with it.
Going to the next matchup, it's a singles match for the AEW Women's Championship. It is Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on Chris Statlander. So at first I was like, I don't know how this match is going to be, but cause I was like, I thought they were going to battle royal first, but no, they had this matchup, and this matchup was better than I thought it was going to be. Ever since Britt Baker hits a DDT on Statlander, and she sells the fuck out of it. She does one of RVD sells, like plus on her head, everything like that, near fall. So then they go on the top rope. Britt Baker, Chris Statlander trying to get Britt Baker over, but she slips out of the superplex. But she still grabs her by her waist and tosses her over in a straight powerhouse style superplex to the top rope. That took some strength to do because they did kind of botch that up a little bit. Chris Statlander goes for I don't know what she calls it, but it's the 450. But Britt Baker
she calls it Area 450.
Area 4. Okay, there you go. Area 450. So Britt Baker gets up and tries to apply the lockjaw onto it, but Chris Allen fights out, knocks Britt Baker to the outside. She goes to the apron and tries to hit the pendulum moonsault off the apron, but she misses the moonsault, and then Britt Baker comes out and just curb stomps her to the outside. So she goes in there trying to get the count out, but then Chris Statlander makes it back in there. They kind of scuffle a little bit. She tries to put Britt Baker into the spider, but Britt gets out, and then Britt Baker goes to the middle rope, hits the Panama or the Pittsburgh Sunrise, goes to pin Statlander, she kicks out. Then she goes for the curb stomp. Then she pins her again, she kicks out, and then she finally goes for the lockjaw, and then Chris Statlander passes out, and that's how Britt Baker wins the match. My other gripe with this show, that sequence right there, I hated it.
Of what?
Me personally, I text you. I was saying it would have been more devastating if she did all the moves concurrently, back to back to back, because Chris Statlander has been, taking her to the limit this whole matchup, and she cannot just physically just apply the lockjaw. So she hit the Panama Sunrise, and then right after hitting the Panama Sunrise, she bounces off the ropes, hits the curb stomp, locks in the lockjaw. She's already passed. Chris Statlander would have already been passed out. But what it does is it helps protect these moves, because these destroyers and all stuff like that, it's just now these were from devastating finishing moves to glorified setup moves, and I'm like, no way that should be happening for this. And I'm like, when they pinned her, I know they're trying to see that she's trying to kick out of everything, but I was like, she shouldn't have kicked out of Panama Sunrise and all the stuff that she's been through. Then on top of that, she kicks out of the curb stomp, but then she just passes out for the lockjaw. I get this kind of story it was, but that right there was kind of bothered me. I think she just did it all back to back. That would have made Britt Baker like a complete powerful ass book champion. She would came out this joint looking powerful as hell, heel as hell as well, and I would have liked it that way. But the match was still good. So how'd you feel about it?
No, I liked it. I mean, I see what you mean. I personally didn't have that gripe because I was just like, I got the nod. Obviously, she wanted to pay nod to her boyfriend, so I understood what she was trying to do and how they were trying to book it. But I understand what you're saying, so I do get your point as well. I mean,
her paying homage to her boyfriend is cool, but having Chris Statlander kick out of it, that's just like, you don't.
Well, I mean, it's a Canadian destroyer in AEW is a clothesline, so that's probably why I didn't. They use that move like a clothesline or like a super kick. It's like it's everywhere, in every match almost. So that's why I was like, okay, she's obviously paying now. She obviously is not going to win with the move.
Yeah. But it was still a good matchup, and Britt Baker retains. Now we're getting ready for the steel cage match, Kang, for the Young Bucks taking on the Lucha Bros. First of all, Nick Jackson is coming out there looking like, was he trying to go for Hogan or Macho Man?
I thought he was trying to do Scott Steiner.
That too, because he was doing the Macho Man poses in the ring. And I was just like, I don't know who they trolling us this week when it comes to the Young Bucks, but they were obviously trying to be something. In the beginning, though, the Lucha Brothers are kicking their ass early. They just going all over the place.
Can we talk about this entrance, though?
Yeah, you know what? Who is... I forgot who the rapper's name was, but they have a dope-ass entrance, and when they came out, I was like, they have to win these belts. They came
out looking like Rey Mysterio and WrestleMania
22.
22, yes.
Yeah, they came out there. They had these rappers out there with them. I forgot that these these Mexican rappers. And I was asking my wife if she knew who they were, and she didn't. But they had it all going out there, and I was like, they had the headdresses, Native American headdresses, and all the stuff pointed out. And they came out in white. You know how color folks like about white. And I was like, yes, they gotta win these championships now. They have to. I'll be heartbroken if they don't. And I was like, and there was a couple times where they sold me. I remember you asked me on the podcast that I think the either skipper thing was going to happen. I answered it later because I said for other circumstances. But I was making sure I look out for that spot. But the Young Bucks at the beginning are taking. The Lucha Brothers at the beginning are having their way with the Young Bucks doing the Young Bucks Lucha Brothers kind of stuff. But then the Young Bucks are making their way, making a comeback, and they start beating them down, trying to pull off their masks, but they go. Matt Jackson calls for a bag by his homie, and he tosses in there, and it's a Jordan with thumbtacks at the bottom. And I was like,
I think those are Travis Scott's.
Oh, the Travis Scott. Like I said, I don't know, because it looked like everybody tonight had on J's.
Well, no, I think the Young Bucks are like, that's their characters now, that they go and buy like $6,000 J's every match for no reason.
Wow. Okay.
So that shoe that they took out was like $6,000.
That's crazy.
To put thumbtacks on the bottom.
Well, yeah, he got the thumbtacks. He puts them on, and it's a super kick party. They are lighting the Lucha Brothers up, and then they have Pentagon by himself. They hit the BTE on him, hit the Dragon Rana on Phoenix. I was like, damn, this is fucking over. But then, as it counted, Phoenix finds the energy to break it up. So, but then Phoenix just takes the shoe off Matt Jackson and starts wailing him and Nick and stuff with the shoe right in their heads and everything as they start making the fight. Then they both got on the apron. There's a spot with both the older brothers. You have Matt Jackson on one side, you have Pentagon on the other side. Give each other the former team, the team member, a package pile driver on the apron. So then we go. Then they fight, and then Matt Jackson and Pentagon go to the tie rope. And oh my god, I'm scared every time they do this spot. Pentagon goes, he calls for the CEO Mill, and then he goes and hits the destroyer to Matt Jackson from the top rope. And they showed on the replay, he planted his head so hard he like flew back. And I was like,
bounced off.
What'd you say?
I said he bounced off.
Yeah, he bounced like, yo, but I hold that man neck all right, because they showed the slow motion. And I was like, yo, I definitely see your head contacting this canvas right now. So then they all get up and they're all like in a square or kind of a circle, and they each chopping each other, and then they go into having a super kick party to each one of them. Then they fall, then each one kicks back up in a super kick. I was like, okay, well, I get it. It was entertaining. I'm not gonna bitch too much about that. It is a package pile driver to Nick for a near fall, but then Matt Jackson breaks it up, and you're like, oh my god. Meanwhile, Phoenix is gets tossed and is climbing to the top of the cage, and Nick Jackson's going after him. So I was like, okay, here goes our prime time skipper spot. Well, Phoenix knocks back down Nick Jackson, so he's at the top. So it's Phoenix, it's Pentagon and the Young Bucks down there, and he just launches himself off the top of the cage, just hits a splash right from the top of the cage, and then, because at first they was calling for doing the package pile driver tag team with the double stop on the top of the cage. I was like, that's just suicide.
I'm actually surprised he kept it tame. I'm surprised he did a regular splash and not like
exactly
a spinning, twisting splash or something.
If it was a WWE cage, he would have did it because that cage is smaller.
Not that far up compared. Yeah,
this one's like a Hell in a Cell. Their cage matches. So I say just keep it simple. Well, simple splash, and then you tag team into the double package pile driver to Nick Jackson as Phoenix held onto Mark. 1, 2, 3. The Lucha Bros are the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Yeah, boy, I was hyped for that one. Give me your thoughts.
No, I really liked the match. I really enjoyed this whole thing. Match was cool for me. Cool spots, craziness, action is what we expected. I'm glad that the right team won here. Lucha Bros won here. Yeah, can't wait to see what's next. But yeah, right team won.
All right. Well, I mean, now
and not to sound mean, I'm tired of seeing this little girl come out every time Penta win.
Oh yeah, his family. He got a little blood on her though.
No, but I'm saying I watched Triple Mania. They won the titles. and this little girl and this family came out. I watched another show. They won some titles like a month ago, or less than a month ago, and this family, the girl came out. I'm like, girl, get this little girl out my face. I'm tired of seeing her. Which sounds mean, obviously.
Wow. Well, like I said, this to me was my match of the night, and I mean, there's a lot of other matches, but it was more so about the moments and everything. This right here, the match was just crazy. So, there you have it. So then we get a little recap of what happened in the show so far. I was like, is this what we do AEW? We ain't even finished yet, but it's cool. We go on to the next matchup, which is...
You know, some people do join it late.
You're right. We have a 21-woman casino battle royal for a future AEW Women's Championship matchup. Now, they usually reserve this match for Double or Nothing. That's their...
No, they do it every one.
Say what?
They do it at every pay-per-view.
Really?
Yeah. You know, they do it. They do it often. So if it's not every pay-per-view, then it's all out and Double or Nothing. That they only do it at. So because I think it's either every pay-per-view because they only have 4, or it's only all out and Double or Nothing. So I had to look into that. But okay, it's one of those two.
So for those who know how the Casino Battle Royal works out, we each have 5 women that pick they're picked randomly by their card base, such as spades, clubs, diamonds, hearts, and there's one joker card. Usually that one joker card is saved for surprises or whatever the case may be. So off the back, we start off with I got it listed right here. We get the clubs.
Hikaru Shida.
Thank you. Okay, the clubs call for Hikaru Shida, Sky Blue, Sakura, the Bunny.
Sky Blue is
Sakura. My bad. The Bunny, and I thought it was a bandit. It's Abaddon. So, you know, he was texting me for the theater. Yo, I want Sky Blue to win. That's by Joel right there. I was just like, and I was like, oh, there she go. And I was like, well, first one out. So. She didn't even make it far at all.
Yeah, they did all that. Literally, she had like a whole match and everything to win to get into Battle Royal. And Tony Khan was like, "Hey, you want this match? You want to be a part of the Battle Royal or something?" She was like, "Yeah." Tony Khan came out on TV. He never comes out on TV, but he came out on the show. He never comes out on the show. I said, "Do you want to be in the match?" He did all that for her to just be in there for a few minutes or seconds. But you know, it was still good seeing Sky Blue, so I'm good.
I know he was. After those two eliminated, we go to the group of diamonds. The diamonds consist of Anna Jay, Karen Hogan, Kylie King, Diamante, and Nyla Rose. First of all, why are they just doing this to Karen Hogan?
Wait, when did the bunny come out? Did she come out first?
The bunny was part of the club, so she's part of the first group.
Okay, Because I was watching this with awesome people in the theater, and I was with my cousin. He don't really know any of the women from AEW, and I was telling him about about Sky Blue, and Sky Blue started fighting the Bunny, and I'm like, the Bunny is not somebody you want to showcase when you have somebody new in there with. It's just my opinion, like, because I was seeing her fighting other people throughout the Battle Royal. I'm like, the Bunny is not the person you want to see, like. She's fighting Anna Jay. That's not the Bunny. Just I don't know. It's just something about either the way she sells or the way she hits the rope. It just don't gel.
I can't see that because you know you ain't the only one. You're the only one who has who has said that obviously. After the next one goes out, Sakura goes out, Hogan goes out, Kylie King goes out, and
Hogan. By the way, you did ask that. Hogan. I don't know. I don't know why they do that to Hogan. I don't know if she just hasn't signed, that's why. Or she wants to keep her options open. I'm not sure why they do that, but I don't know.
This is Carol's like, she's in there, then she's out. So next up we got the Hearts. The Hearts consist of Thunder Rosa, Penelope Ford, Rio, Where You Been At, Jamie Hayer, and Big Swole. So Hearts come out there, they're kicking.
You say Rio, where she been at like it's her fault.
Say what?
You say Rio, where you been at like it's her fault.
No, it ain't her fault. You're right. It's not her fault at all.
She went on dark. just like Hikaru Shida, the longest reigning champion. And as soon as she loses, she goes to dark and it's not on Dynamite no more. I'm like, they send all their champions. As soon as they lose, they send them to dark. It happened to Nyla Rose. It happened to Hikaru Shida. And it happened to Riho. Weird.
So, repeat that last line for me.
I said every time they champions lose the title, they go to dark. It happened to Nyla Rose. It happened to Riho, and it happened to Hikaru Shida.
That has happened to a lot of women. That's amazing.
Yeah.
But then
then when they do it, people be like, "Oh, where do they go?" They disappear. Like, no, they just don't use them. Like, you can still use people on the show, but, we'll see.
We are now while the Queen of Hearts just got out there, the Amante goes out, Big Swole goes out. I was like, my God, no time at all. Then we get the Group of Spades. We get Ty Conti, Red Velvet, legit Layla Hirsch, Jade Cargill, and Rebel. So Jade Cargill, they made her look pretty strong in this one. She pressed. Well, first off, after she come out, Rebel's automatically out. The Bunny falls out, and
I really think she's hurt.
Who?
Rebel,
yeah.
Because like last month she dislocated her knee, and then she came out like limping. Like, why even be in the match if you're limping? You just dislocated your knee. But she is out almost instantly. So, yes. Yeah.
Which does sucks, which helps that women's division. But as we're still going down, we Jade Cargill bench presses after Anna Jay goes down. Bench presses Layla Hirsch over to everybody that's on the outside. And I thought she was being pretty cool in the match. She's getting better. Joker card is exactly what you know, Ruby Soho. So Ruby Riott. Oh, excuse me, JR.
You sure? Oh, okay. Well, I say you sure it's not Ruby Riott?
Ruby Riott at the Big Show. I can't get bad. I can't get too bad at that, man. Ruby Soho comes in there, and then it's just all kinds of stuff. Jamie Hare is out. The Red Velvet goes out. Jade Cargill gets eliminated by Nyla Rose, and then Penelope Ford gets taken out. Ty Conti gets taken out. Then Nyla Rose gets taken out, and it's down to Thunder Rosa and Ruby Soho, which I really would like to see Thunder Rosa have winners, but Ruby Soho just came in there, got to make a name for herself. They're fighting on the apron. She hits that kind of karate kick, and then Thunder Rosa falls off. And Ruby Riott, I said Ruby Riott is the one that wins. I had that in my notes because that's what JR was saying until he realized it was Ruby Soho.
Ruby Riott. What, Tony? Ruby Soho? Ruby Soho.
Soho. I said so that hoe.
But no, I think Ruby winning was the right choice because Thunder Rosa is the money match. Not to say that Ruby is not, but I think if they do Thunder Rosa later down the line, it'll be a money match. While Ruby Soho, it would be a thing for Ruby Soho to up her status.
Yeah.
So I think the right person won.
Okay. I like the win. I'm glad to see my girl Ruby Soho back and doing some things because she was very underutilized in WWE anyway. So I'm glad she out here doing stuff for herself. Next matchup, MJF taking on Chris Jericho. If Chris Jericho loses, he will no longer wrestle in AEW ever, and I do mean ever again. I like how we had the old Jericho countdown on the screen, the zoom, 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 zoom. I was like, oh, that's kind of dope. And MJF trolls the shit out of me.
This is what I thought MJF was doing with Punk. That's what I thought when Punk came out. When his music hit. That's what I thought it was. But, because he do stuff like that. But I'm glad it was this one was good.
Yes. But I was like, okay, though, this is Ultimate Troll here. That Jericho comes out with I remember Fozzy performing a guitar solo of Judas, even though I like hearing the crowd sing Judas more.
No.
You said no?
This is not it.
Okay, so you mean
this wasn't it for me.
like I said, I like the crowd doing Judas.
But the thing is, he was playing the guitar, and
you could barely hear the crowd.
No, it's not even that. It's like when you're playing the guitar, you're not. It's not like it don't have a drum beat, so it don't have a pulse. So when you're playing it, you have to play it like the beat, so that the crowd can be on beat. He's playing it and doing like, what do you call them? Like when you just say "oh" in the middle of a song. What do you call them? Not riffs, but
Oh my god! You know, I'm not the music guru here. You got to talk to my wife.
No, it started with an A. Ad-libs.
Ad-libs. Oh, okay.
He's doing ad-libs on the guitar while playing, and the crowd got lost. I don't know if you played it back, but like, it was like right before the I'm become. Right before that part, then it was like, you are in the drag you down, and then because he was like ad-libbing on the guitar, so then it was like, Judas it. Then they just started like it just.
No, like I said, I would agree. I prefer everybody singing the song, obviously, but you know,
I would have rather just him perform it.
Well, I did ask the choir, but sure, told why the choir couldn't come back, so I was like, okay.
Well, no, I would rather Jericho's son. If you're gonna go out your last hurrah, why not come out singing your song with the crowd, like singing? You performed this song. Just have the whole band come and then just be like, all right, y'all, Fozzy in full effect. Judas, like, you know. Like Jericho ain't never performed on TV with Fozzy.
So, the match goes on. At this point in the match, I was like getting a little bored with it. I actually kind of nodded for a little bit, but I was like, but when the second part came, it started picking up for me when Warlord came down and started fighting. But
that's when it started picking up.
No, it started picking up before then.
I was about to say, geez.
No.
Did you watch the match?
No. It started picking up before then, but this is when I started taking notes.
Okay.
Because like I said, I was like, okay, it started picking up a lot bit before Warlord them came down. MJF uses his ring on Jericho, hits a Judas effect on him, and then R.B. Heberns, or the referee, counts the 3 count, but Jericho's foot's on the bottom row. So MJF is celebrating. Everybody's like, "Oh no, wait. Jericho!" Huh?
Did you miss something?
Say what?
You say he hit him with a ring?
MJF's ring.
No, he hit him with the Judas effect and the baseball bat.
The baseball bat, that's right. Then he hit him with the Judas effect. He hit him with He hit him with Jericho's baseball bat that he had out there. That's right. He did.
Yeah. So how do you feel about the finish? That finish?
Okay, so that finish works if it goes into Dynamite.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is like the finish works like, okay, she counts to 3. MJF thinks he won, and the evidence is right there. And then Jericho gets up like, what the hell is going on? And then they say his career is over. And even though the crowd knows it's not, you still play it up like it is. That he lost the matchup and he failed us, and now he has to go and not wrestle anymore. But he knows that he won that matchup. The only downfall about that is that sets up for another match between them. That do we want to really see that or not? So that's the only thing with that one. I was like, but when you do it this way, and then the referee picks the win, you get another authority figure comes down and says that Chris Jericho thing wasn't his foot was on the rope, and then she got to go reverse the call. It's an overbooked type thing. Now, I like when Jericho came back and put him in the walls and then sat on it, and then he tapped out. Sure, but that's just my opinion. How about you?
I had 2 gripes with that finish. For one, I think they used the wrong referee.
Because
if you're gonna have one referee make a mistake, Aubrey is not the one to be like, oh, I didn't see his foot on the rope. Like any other referee can do that, but Aubrey, the one that's so like probably the best referee that they have, if not the best. I don't think she's the one that you want to make look stupid in that regard. Also, I hate that they reversed it, because I'm like, I would rather like you said, save it for Dynamite, because the referee came out there and said, hey, I seen Jericho's foot on the rope. But you also saw when MJF cheated and used the baseball bat, but you didn't say nothing about that. But Jericho's foot on the rope is the one that you got to say something about. Like it just kind of contradicts the whole thing. That's like Jericho when he cheated, he used the baseball bat, but didn't use the Judas fit when it was banned. It's like,
yeah,
you're already cheating, and he says, "Oh, I didn't see the cheat, but I saw the foot on the rope." It's kind of like it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I didn't like about it. I would have rather them just had MJF win, and then on Dynamite, I would say Dynamite have Chris Jericho be on commentary, and then Sammy come out and point it out and be like, "You know what, Jericho? I know you're too prideful to say this, but you didn't really lose. Your foot was on the rope." You know, like something in that nature.
How did the people in the theater take the finish in the matchup?
I mean, I feel like the people in the theater was more casual, so they was just kind of not. They was kind of like Urban's, like, "Nah, man, Jericho won, man." No, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. But then Jericho won. They when it was getting reversed and all that, they was like, "Okay, that's what I thought," and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
I got you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they could just polish up a little bit better. It depends on how they want to make this is going to be the feud ender. I would have Jericho probably just be a straight on up, but once again, it is MJF, rising star. But if it's going to keep on going, then that finish just went into Dynamite, and the Jericho like, "I didn't lose," like, you know, something like that. And I think it would have been dope. But look, it's the match that we all been waiting for, that we was waiting 7 years to see, because it's going to be CM Punk versus Darby Allen, straight one-on-one, to see how CM Punk is going to do back in the ring. There's this vignette that's being played of this helicopter picking up this dead body, and Darby Allen is just in the chopper, and you can tell they're getting really high, and then he just jumps out. Where he lands, I don't know, but I'm just like, this crazy son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
This man got a death sentence, and he enjoys every bit of it.
Yep.
Then we're in Chicago. Then we hear CM Punk and then you know, in living color music, Cult of Personality, and everybody was singing like they sing Judas. And then I just wanted to hear him say, he comes out with the tights though. Never seen CM Punk in tights. And he does, "It's clobbering time," and I was like, yes, oh, give it all to me. Give it all to me.
So I like when the crowd chanting "It's clobbering time" as well. And I've seen CM Punk with the tights. Of course, he had like the tights, he had the shorts, and then he had the trunks. I still gotta get used to him in the tights, if he's gonna wear them full time or if he's gonna switch back. But the tights is weird though.
Like for him, yeah, I thought he was just gonna have, like, you know, like the thing in the middle, and then just the kick pads and stuff. But him in tights is weird. Maybe because he's older.
I guess it's just weird to me. It's because, like, you know, CM Punk is known for the design on the front and the back.
Yeah.
He just got him on the sides, and like nothing is at the front of the back, so it's kind of weird to me. I'm used to, you know, like the design around all the way around. But that's just me. That's just like a me making, you know, editing CM Punk calls for years. CM Punk created wrestlers and editing his attires for my players and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's what they come.
They do the little Hogan rock stare down type thing. First of all, I like how Darby's in the corner. He just sitting down, and then CM Punk goes his Indian style. They just sit there staring at each other, and everybody's chanting "Holy shit, holy shit!" Like, first of all, I seen my man, I'm gonna give him credit for this one, Good Mike Commentaries, which you guys can check out. I watch his channel a lot and his live streams. He made a good point that this had that 1992 Bret and Davey Boy at Wembley, where Bret's the overall, well, I think it was, because we were in Wembley, that Bulldog was overall favorite, but they still respected Bret Hart. And that's how I felt. We're in Chicago. Everybody loves CM Punk, but they still respect Darby Allen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I like that about that. Even, and they did the was a tribute arm drag and everything like that. It had that match feel to it. So now at the beginning, CM Punk's doing a lot of holds, and I know he's doing that because usually when guys have not wrestled for years and they come back, look at all the matches. It ain't just a CM Punk thing. All the matches they go into rest hold century because they gotta get their air from them.
Wrestle arm lock and wrist drag.
Yeah, like when The Rock first came back, he was doing that all the time with Cena. When Undertaker first came back, he was doing that all the time with
The reason why The Rock song was weird is because he never did that. That's why The Rock song was so weird.
Yeah.
The Rock never did like a wrist lock, arm drag. The Rock never did that. That's why it was so weird when he did it when he came back. I was like, sure.
Yeah, I was like, bro, what's going on? I'm like, yo, I was like, this man is gassed, and that's understandable because you can be in all the tip top shape you want to be, but you know, there's a different kind of shape where you gotta get in wrestling shape.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I could tell I CM Punk because he was gasping, and then when Darby will put his sequence in this move, and like when Darby was charging him on the outside, and then he just kept throwing his body up against him, then did a swanton to the outside, and then he does like moves to the inside. He goes and rolls under, gives like a German suplex, stuff like that, and then he turned into like a cold red after this whole sequence was done, and CM Punk kicked out. That man was on the mat gasping for air. I was like, this man is gassed because Darby Allen is just moving so damn fast. Now CM Punk still got it. He can still go out there and wrestle, but he has to get his wind back underneath him so he don't have to keep doing all these rest holds so he can sit there.
Well, he has to get his wind back under him. You're right, but he also is facing Darby Allen, one of the quickest on the roster,
if not the quickest.
Yes, so that is you gotta take that into account as well. But Punk was gassed, but like his gas, he can play it off well. You know, like other people in the theater were not like, oh, he's like, you know, he's tired. He's like, they were just like, okay, he's selling. They just thought he was selling. So I like the way he can play his off, even though he's dead tired.
Mm-hmm.
At least to the casual eye.
That's one I do like that kind of stuff. We go as we go deeper to the match. CM Punk is teasing to hit the GTS, but Darby keeps finding a way to get out of it. But eventually, CM Punk hits the GTS, and Darby falls backwards throughout the bottom row. At first, I thought he fell on his head. And I was like, oh God, we can't injure Darby Allen right now. So the referee is counting and
really, you really care about Darby's safety?
No, I don't. I'm just being,
This man don't care about his safety. You like, oh, come on now, Darby don't. Man, Darby literally jumped out of plane before the video. You talking about falling on his neck from GTS?
Well, when you put it that way, yeah. It don't sound good. But referee is counting. Darby uses his whole 10 count and finally slides back in the ring, like right there at like 9.5, and slides back into the ring. And CM Punk's like, all right, damn, we gotta go try to finish this job. But Darby starts mounting a comeback after CM.
Before you get to that, I think that's the one part I kind of did not like.
How he started coming back?
No, is that Punk was really going to settle for a count out victory in his first match in 7 years.
I do agree with that. I like that he was going for it. I know he's gonna be like this. No, I respect him too much. Let me go out there and get him.
He really was like, nah, you count him out. I'm good. By any means, I guess.
Darby fights back. He gonna set up and go for a coffin drop. I like as he goes for the coffin drop. CM Punk just sits up and gets out the way. I thought that was dope. He's being a little arrogant, but then Darby tries to roll him up. He hurry up and kicks out of that one. He almost stole one again, and he's trying to get these quick pins on CM Punk because it catches him by surprise. But then he uses old momentum against him and walks right into a GTS and puts Darby right out. He sells it great. And 1, 2, 3, CM Punk wins, beats Darby Allen. I thought it was a good match for his first match back up. It could have been better, obviously, but it was still a good matchup. I wanted him to have a little bit more time, but I do know CM Punk was probably a little gassed by that time. But I think by the time he gets a couple matches under his belt and gets his groove back, y'all, this CM Punk had like another run like Shawn Michaels did in 2005.
Now, I think this match was good. Not just for CM Punk, it was good how they booked it, and they booked it as they obviously booked it as a comeback match. But it's like that's not even it though. He has way more moves and he got way more stuff in the tank. So I like that they didn't use all of his moves the first match. He still has the Pepsi plunge. He still has Welcome to Chicago. He still has the Endicott device. He still has all these different moves that he hasn't pulled out yet because he hasn't been in a situation where he, is struggling. So I'm glad, even though he had a good match with Darby, he didn't have to pull out his whole arsenal for the first match. And also in the theater, people was getting mad because they was like, this match is slow. And I'm like, yeah, it is slow, but you gotta think this man ain't wrestled in 7.5 years, so he gotta build up everything that he lost. He probably ain't take a bump in 7 years. He probably do nothing like that. So yeah, you gotta just watch it and let it flow.
That's what I had to do as well. And like I said, it made for everything was great. Sting comes down, and I was like, oh, we're gonna get Sting and stuff like this, but no, he goes and shakes CM Punk's hand and picks up Darby. Darby like, no, I can get up on my own. And then him and CM Punk shake hands. Me personally, Sting that I need to be in this moment. You could have just had Darby Allen and CM Punk for this thing, but they insist on just sticking Sting.
I think that was just for pay-per-view reasons.
I guess so. Sting's like, I'm a fan of this guy too, so I'm gonna go out there and see him.
I think that was just for casual people. Also, they're like, oh, they also got Sting too. I think that's the only reason why he came out at all. Because I'm assuming he's just gonna get a lot of buys. It's probably gonna be the highest buy rate ever. So you got to introduce those other people that they have that helps everybody. So yes, I understand why Sting even came out to begin with. I mean, just for casuals to see Sting and see all the people that they got and say, oh, and they also got Sting. I know him. So that kind of thing.
Is it a good thing? Yes, but for this moment and for this pay-per-view, man, it's just for the wrestling fan, man. And just I just want to see Darby.
You can't say that though. You can't say this is for the pure wrestling fan when obviously they know this is their biggest show that all the casuals are going to watch because CM Punk. So that's where they're doing certain things the way that they're doing it.
I mean, that is fair. I can't get mad at you. That is fair.
Yeah, because even some people in this theater, they didn't know Sting was with Darby, and they was like, "Oh, they got Sting." So I can see how some people would be like, "Yeah, Sting is just for them to basically show off who they got in their company."
But you make a great point. Let's moving on so I don't go too much over time. The less say about this match, the better. Paul White, the Big Show, taking on QT Marshall. This is really not much of a match. This is a buffer. It's a bathroom break to get us into the main event, obviously. QT Marshall just gets his Under Armour ripped, gets slapped. They take out the factory. He gets a choke slam. Paul White wins. Tony Schiavone is girl. The end. So, what's your take on that match so we get to the main event, Brian?
No, it did what it needed to do. Fill time. Because in this space is where they also promoted Dynamite, which is I like the way that they did that. They promoted Andrade versus Pac on Rampage. They promoted Dustin versus Malachi Black on Dynamite. They gave a promo from Malachi Black. They gave a promo from Moxley in his match on Dynamite. So they promoted Dynamite on the pay-per-view for the casuals to say, come back and watch us on Wednesday and Friday. So I think it's good. I don't really know if WWE does that when they say we're gonna have a match on, like they kind of run down their card on Raw for that next night, or So I like the way that they took time out the show for promotion for their weekly show.
That's something that AEW does do great for a lot of things. And something that WWE needs to get better on, but I think AEW just does it perfectly. Alright. Main event time. AEW World Championship. Kenny Omega taking on Christian Cage. First of all, my wife, you know my wife very well, had an eyesore from Don Callis' pink and black suit, especially the shoes. She was taken aback by this man's attire. I thought it was funny.
I mean, he's with the elite. They're just ridiculous. So yeah.
So we like I said, the match is just starting off. For Kenny Omega knocks Christian to the outside. So then he goes against this table, and I was just like, wait a minute, it's not a no disqualification match. He drapes the table over Christian Cage, and then he stomps on the table, breaking it, and Christian Cage gets hurt by that. I thought that would have counted as a DQ.
No, that is not a DQ.
Can you tell me why?
Because he didn't use it.
Oh, okay.
I'm so serious.
Yeah.
Like, if it's like if you, I swear it's weird. It is weird rules in wrestling, but it's like if you slam somebody on the announcer table, it's not illegal. But if you slam them on a table that you set up, it's illegal. If you like step on a chair,
but the referee seen him bring the thing out and drape it across his chest.
Yes, that's not illegal.
Okay.
That's like, so if you throw somebody into the steel steps, that's not illegal. But if you throw the steel steps, that's illegal. It's kind of almost the same. It's like if somebody puts a chair in the corner, I feel like if you can throw them into the chair, that's legal. But if you swing the chair at them, that's illegal. But him just draping it over is illegal. I mean, it's legal.
Okay, I'm just saying, but it was a cool spot though. Cause I never seen nothing like that happen, like something like that, especially with Christian being as. Huh?
I think the last time he did that, Omega did, that's when he fought Jericho at Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, okay. Then Kenny Omega was trying to hit a suplex to Christian through another table he set up, but the Christian's a snap suplex.
I thought they were going to do this spot that he did in Japan with Ishii, where he tries to do the full Nelson German, and Christian holds on, and he tries to do it with one arm. Christian got the rope with the other arm. He tries to do the other arm, and Ishii, when he did it, he bit the ropes because he's so strong. He bit the ropes, and Omega couldn't get it. Obviously, they weren't doing that, but I was like, why are you teasing this table spot? If you do that, that is illegal. So I didn't know why they were teasing it so much. And they kind of, the actual table spot, I know I'm probably skipping ahead, the actual table spot, the referee was not looking, okay? Don was distracting the referee, but it don't make sense. Like, you can obviously see the table is broken, you can see all the carnage at ringside, and you can hear it. But he technically didn't see it, which I can see if they want to use that, but it still just don't make sense. Like, that I didn't think that was needed in this match.
So, while on the floor, which I do understand your whole theory about the tables and everything like that. While on the floor, Kane knocks Christian down. He's about to, Kenny goes and tries to jump on the guardrail, which JR says, all that perspiration, but jumps on the guardrail. He slips onto the other side. I'm glad he caught himself. But then he was like, all right, no, we were going to fix this. So he kind of like jumps and twists, turning back to the position, and does a moonsault to Christian on the outside. I thought that was dope. After the moonsault, he go back in the ring, have more action. Then he starts hitting Christian with the V triggers. Then hits 3 snapdragons on him, and then another V trigger. He tries on the apron, and he tries to tease the one-winged angel to the table that they had set up for the suplex spot earlier. But Christian gets out of it and runs to the other side of the apron and spears Kenny Omega off the apron onto the table. And I was like, so we just doing everything we want in this matchup. But I don't mind that. I'm not complaining about it. I don't mind it. So he goes back in ring and tries to spin. He spears Kenny Omega again in the back to try to weaken down the back. But Kenny Omega kick out. So then Don Callis starts calling down the boys. Here come the Good Brothers. But then Christian handles. He knocks down Carl Anderson. Then when Luke Gallows on the apron, Kenny Omega tries to go for the V trigger, but it takes out Carl Anderson. Then we get a kill switch. I called it unpretty last time. And then a kick out by Kenny Omega. I was like, okay, so we're dope. We're on the top rope here, but then Kenny somehow catches Christian up in a one-wing angel and gives him a super one-ring angel as Christian was trying to give him a super kill switch from the top rope, and wins the matchup 1, 2, 3. Before we get into anything that comes up afterwards, how did you like this matchup, especially the ones that they had on Dynamite?
I like the match. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was obviously a good main event for this show. Like, it really did help the show. The table spot I could have did without, but I really enjoyed this match. And Christian still, I know people like to make fun of Christian. No, Christian can still go. Like, Christian still knows how to put on a good match. He plays to his strengths, don't really go with his weaknesses, and he knows how to put on a good match and tell a good story. Yeah,
Christian, you're right, can still go. I know my wife don't like him, but Christian can still go. And he can have a solid match with Kenny Omega. We know what the bigger match was, but after everything that had been happening, I'm just like, bro, I don't know when you will get that match, bro. To be honest with you, I don't know when Heyman going to get this matchup, but
he probably, honestly, he might not. All right, we'll see.
Yeah, he may not. So the Elite come back in and start beating up on Christian. Then after that, here comes Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus and Marco Stunt. Why does Marco Stunt be coming out there? They start getting trashed. So Kenny grabs the microphone and says, you know, Chicago, you need to see this coming, because here's the thing. I'm going to remain, I'm the best wrestler there is. I'm going to remain on top. There's nobody that can beat me. So I was like, he is egging this thing on. There's nobody that can beat me. That's the only people that can beat me are either not here, too tired, or dead. As soon as he said,
when he said dead, I didn't know who it was.
You know what? I did too, because I did some research learning about the whole the Young Bucks trying to resurrect Adam Cole after he got released because they killed him off. He went to
they killed him off on BTE.
Yeah, the lights went out.
He's dead to them, which I thought was funny. So, yeah.
He comes back, and then the crowd goes crazy. Adam Cole is here in AEW, and he has all Elite shirt and everything. He comes out there, and like I say, everybody's wearing Jordans today. It seemed like and then when he did the Adam Cole baby in the ring, the crowd was behind him. Okay.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I thought he was coming back to confront them, because they also kicked him out. The Elite, they kicked him out. The Bullet Club, they kicked him out. The Super Click and all that. So I thought he was coming back to get revenge. Then he was like, I'm just kidding. I love these guys. And then obviously
the Jungle Boy stands up and he gets super kicked. And I was just like, oh, this is a great ass swerve. He's like, hey, which day was going to happen? This is one of our best friends. And then Kenny Omega was about
see, it kind of, okay. When he super kicked Jungle Boy, I was like, oh, well, it's got to be something else, because there's no way they're going to end with Adam Cole just joining the Elite, the biggest faction that beats everybody up every week. You know what I'm saying?
Say what?
I said, do you know what I mean? Like, I know they just wasn't going to end the show.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, where Adam Cole joined the faction that beat everybody up every week and wins. So I knew it had to be something else.
I just know, I was like, okay, somebody's coming out. And then, as Kenny Omega's trying to close out the night, we hear Daniel Bryan's music. Oh, excuse me, Bryan Danielson.
Well, we gotta talk about this music, though.
Did you not like it?
No.
Does WWE
it needs to be changed immediately?
Does WWE still owe the rights to his old song?
They don't own the rights to fight. Anybody can buy Fighter Valkyrie.
Yeah, I mean, fine. I mean, obviously, yeah, but
he should have had Final Countdown, which it probably cost too much. But this song was like. Yeah, I agree. I was like, yo, where does hard bass line come from? I was just trying to rap over that joint. What is AJ Styles? Like, come on.
That's what it felt, bro. That's exactly what it felt like. I was like,
he was like, I really like AJ Styles theme song. I want something like that when I leave.
When he came down, they were going crazy. It was yes, all over the place.
Obviously, obviously he can't do that because he came down. He didn't do the yes. He just had his hands out.
Yeah.
So he obviously can't do the yes. But I will say, Daniel Bryan with the gray strands in his beard is something. It's a look.
What'd you say? So what?
I said, man bun Bryan Danielson with the gray strands in his beard is a look.
It is a look, yes. And I gotta keep say Bryan Danielson. I don't want to be JR. Daniel Bryan. No, it's Bryan Danielson. They come. They all in the ring. They stand each other down. Then Omega's like, "Fuck this." He left, but they all start brawling, and I was like, "Okay, we gonna build up to an 8-man tag team match eventually."
Which made me upset.
You know that's how they move.
I know it's. I don't like the Lucha Express. Because it's like Jungle Boy is like obviously Shawn Michaels, and at this point, I don't even know if Luchasaurus is Marty Jannetty. Like he's probably lower than that as far as popularity goes and everything.
Yeah,
you might think I'm playing, but Jungle Boy is like probably the 5th most popular wrestler in the whole roster, and Luchasaurus is just like he's just there.
I'm curious to see what they're gonna have in store for Dynamite. I'm curious to see how they're gonna play it because now Adam. I know they're gonna bring them all back in one night. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I didn't either.
So I'm like, now
I thought one was gonna be tonight and one was gonna be in the stadium show.
Exactly. I'm happy for the initial reaction, but I do want to see how you're gonna capitalize on this thing here, because y'all got so many big stars. I'm like, this story writes itself, and it could be dope. I'm just like, but you gotta tell the right story. But guys, that right there was AEW All Out 2021. Prime, we had to give it a grade. What do you give it?
I'm giving this an A.
Yes, I'm giving this a complete, as I'll say it on my other channel, a complete nerdgasm. A++. This is one of the best pay-per-views I've seen all year. I'm glad I ordered it. So, to support AEW, so hopefully the buy rate can go out. So now, we got November in full gear, and I'm just like, they're going to find a way to put Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, and Adam Cole in that car. I think it's going to be Daniel Bryan versus Adam Cole.
It could be. We'll see. We'll have to see.
We're going to have to see, but I'm excited, man. I was so happy to see Bryan Danielson. I was so happy to see Adam Cole. First of all, I was actually more happy because I knew Bryan Danielson was coming. But I was more happy to see Adam Cole because I was like, I'm so glad he inside the WWE contract. I'm so glad.
Yes, I'm glad. And it's just like I was relieved for Adam Cole myself. I was like, oh. I was relieved for Adam Cole, but low-key kind of feel bad for Xavier Woods. He got like 2 members of his main team of up, down, down, not there. It's funny. That's messed up, but that's funny.
So, guys, post your comments down below. How'd you guys feel about AEW All Out? Hit the like button if you guys enjoy our review of it. Make sure you guys stay tuned for Wednesday Night War this week, and I'm gonna get back into doing the Rampage reviews and everything like that. Especially the match we're supposed to get tonight, we're gonna get on Rampage between Pac and Andrade El Idolo. So that should be a dope match. And in my opinion, it could take up the whole hour for that match alone. But that's our review. So once again, this is NCA Place Be Children Mr. A&D, and not DI Sands for Primetime.
All right, y'all.
All right.
It's been real.
And the Nerd Coalition, along with Ruby Riot and Big Show, is out.